Let me hit you with something right out the gate. If you can't be alone, you will never become the man you are supposed to be, period. You'll always be a half version of yourself, needing someone to complete you all the time, validate you, or save you from your own thoughts. And that's not masculinity. That's emotional codependence dressed up in a cologne and insecurity. Let's be real. Most of you are terrified of silence. You need the noise, you need the texts, the likes, the late night distractions. Because if everything got quiet, you'd actually have to face yourself. And what's staring back at you in that silence? A man you respect, or a man who doesn't even know who the heck he is without somebody holding his hand all the time? Before we dive into this truth bomb of a video, like always, smash the like button so it reaches more people who need to hear it. Yeah, the ones still simping in the group chats as well. Okay, let's break this down. The fear of being alone is a modern disease. You ever notice how people treat being alone like it's a punishment? Oh, you're eating alone? That's so sad, bro. No. What's sad is needing someone else around just to feel valid. Let me ask you something. Can you go 48 hours without calling, texting, scrolling, or reaching for something to numb your solitude? Most can't, because they are afraid of what they'll hear in the silence. Regret, insecurity, failure. But guess what? That silence is where men are forged. This is where you become your greatest. Solitude is where your instincts come alive. It's where you actually hear yourself think. It's where clarity slaps you across the face and says, you are wasting your life doing dumb stuff. The men who fear being alone are the same men who get cheated on, stepped on, and forgotten about. You want to be forgettable? Stay needy. You want to be dangerous? Master being alone. Another one. If you always need a woman, you are still a boy. Yeah, I said it, and you know it's true. There's a difference between wanting a woman and needing one. Boys need, men choose. If your happiness depends on her text, her mood, or her presence, you are not her man. You are her emotional pet. And don't come at me with the I'm just a lover energy. No, you are addicted to attention. You don't even know who you are when she leaves the room. That's not love. That's emotional survival. You want a woman who respects you? Learn to not need her. Become the man who can walk away, not because you are cold, but because your identity doesn't depend on anyone but you. And then we have what we call the loneliness versus powerful solitude. Let's make a distinction real quick. Loneliness is weakness, solitude is power. Loneliness is you crying into your pillow because no one's texting you. Solitude is you building a business, leveling up, working out, and planning 10 steps ahead while the world just scrolls TikTok. Solitude builds kings. You don't create vision, discipline, or drive surrounded by people stroking your ego 24/7. You build it in the quiet, in the dark, with no applause. You train in the shadows so the world pays attention when you step into the light. So if you feel alone right now, that's good. Stay there, sit in it, get comfortable in the silence. That's your new dojo. Then we have neediness. Neediness is it's just like a repulsive stench. There is nothing less attractive than a needy man. You could be shredded, rich, and dressed like James Bond. But if you reek of desperation, women will run faster than your Wi-Fi during a bad thunderstorm. Neediness is emotional BO. You can't fake independence. Women feel it. They test it. And when they realize you're faking it, they're gone, they bounce. If you're texting her 10 times with no reply, canceling your plans when she might come over, or stalking your Instagram like a teenage FBI agent, you are not in control. You are orbiting her like a lost moon. Want to fix it? Stop needing her energy to validate yours all the time. And then what happens? So what happens when you master being alone? What happens? Everything. You build discipline because no one's around to stop you from slacking. You build focus because there are no distractions in your cave. You build confidence because you prove to yourself you can stand alone. And that's when the world starts to take you seriously. Not when you're popular, not when you're surrounded by noise, but when you become untouchable, unbothered by being alone. The man who doesn't need attention becomes the man who gets it. And here's some real talk. Why most guys avoid this work? Because it's painful. It's easier to keep chasing tail all the time, numbing your brain and blaming the world. It's easier to say, I'm just a people person, than to admit I'm scared of being alone because I've never built something worth being alone with. You distract yourself because deep down you know you are underperforming. And the quiet reminds you of that, but you know what's worse than facing the truth? This is it. Being 45, divorced, broke, soft-bodied, and still afraid to be alone. That's the end game if you don't figure this out now. So how to start loving the silence? You have to start small. Go for walks without headphones. Eat out alone with no phone. Spend weekends off the grid. Build something in silence. No music, no podcasts, no BS. Work out with no headphones. You'll hate it at first. Your mind will scream. You'll reach for your phone like it's oxygen. But after a while, you'll hit that point where you realize you don't need anything. And that's when you become dangerous. You become the guy who walks into a room and doesn't chase anyone because he already knows who he is. He already has everything right there with himself for the most part. Why women respect men who embrace solitude? Here's why. Because those men are leaders. You can't lead others if you're dependent on their energy. A man who's comfortable alone radiates strength. He's selective. He's hard to impress. He's not afraid to say no. And that makes him valuable, desired, magnetic. You ever wonder why that one dude, the quiet one, gets all the attention without saying much? It's not because he's mysterious. It's because he doesn't need anyone. And women feel that especially. Here's some final words. To become the man you'd follow. And I'll end with this, with the harshest truth of all. If you can't be alone, you will follow anything and anyone. You'll follow the crowd, the toxic girl, the trends, the path of least resistance. But if you master being alone, you can finally lead yourself, your mission, your life. The world doesn't need more followers. It needs men who faced themselves in the silence and came out unbreakable. So unplug, step back, go build something in the dark. Because if you can't be alone, you'll never be a man. And smash that like button if this hits you. Share it with someone who's stuck in that loop of needing everyone and everything all the time. There's a lot of them. And if you're going to be that lone wolf, do it in style. Grab your Navi eyewear. It's buy one, get 4 free with free shipping. The link's in the description. Toss all 5 in your cart and the discount applies automatically at checkout. You won't find a deal like this anywhere else, guaranteed. Until next time, embrace the silence, build the man, and stop and Stop begging for crumbs. You are better than that. Peace.